week, and this week we did. It's none other than Matt Hag, Nadeshot.
What's up, dude?
Am I muted?
No, you're good, baby.
Now you're good.
How long have you known me? You still mispronounce my last name? That's crazy.
What?
Haig?
Is it Haig?
Yeah, you said Hag. That's flopped.
Dude, my bad.
Haig.
You know, that's my bad. I'll
Bro,
never.
You know what's wild about this whole thing, dude? I can't believe Shane cheated. I can't. Believe
Oh, I mean, you're asking our questions for us.
I mean, honestly, if Shane doesn't sit behind you guys and watch you probably beat us 4-0 in finals.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
what are we talking about?
there he is. Yeah, Nadeshot. I mean, you just came in right off the rip, and he came in hot.
Yeah, look how well placed those cans are. He fucking said, "Hey, Joe, get over here. Let's play some nice for the camera." I see what you're doing.
Hey, brother, we got to think ahead. You know what I mean?
I see what you're
putting
doing.
me in 3 different group DMs with your producer. Like,
Well,
I know you guys
no.
are.
That's
you guys
because
are very decisive.
That's
about
because
this.
he doesn't communicate.
There's a lot of things going on.
He did it without telling me.
Yeah, I'm not very good at communicating. You know, because of, not very good at that.
That's okay, brother. Me neither. Yeah. I'm actually shocked by the quality too. The whole setup looks great. You guys are doing a good job.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Welcome.
But, welcome.
You're our first ever non-player on the show. Obviously, congrats.
So how are you on the show then?
Wait, what did he say?
That was like the worst dad joke. He said.
Well, you can't call me a non-player. I mean, you're hosting the damn thing.
Sorry, former
That's
player.
That's actually fair.
Sorry, former player. I meant you're the only non-current CDL pro that we've had on the show so far.
Nice job, dude. I got you on your toes, bro.
Yeah,
I know what you meant. Thank you.
Welcome. Congrats on the win. Obviously, we saw your reaction. You and Spence can barely fucking stand with that reaction, but congratulations.
Wait, I think they got me on the webcam mic. Hold on. Did Joe set me up?
It's okay. You sound
I think
good
you
to
sound
us.
pretty solid.
If you want to try to change
Really?
it, yeah, I wouldn't change it honestly because that just opens up a whole can of worms. But Matt,
I got this nice little microphone here.
It's okay. Let me get into the questions quickly here for you, brother. First off, I want to ask, obviously, former Optic member, huge instrument in the building of Optic. How much do you play into that Thieves versus Optic rivalry? Is it something that makes you just, gets you going a little bit more whenever those two teams play?
I mean, yeah, honestly, like, of course. I don't know. I feel like when we got into the CDL, I think I remember somebody saying that on the Optics camp that you wouldn't consider it a rivalry. But I don't know. Maybe it's selfish of me to think, since I spent so much time in Optic and in competitive Call of Duty, I don't know how it wouldn't be a rivalry. But maybe I need to be more involved with the team. I don't know. But yeah, it always feels good to beat you guys in the finals. I'm not happy about it because I know how many finals Hector probably saw his teams go to and be on the losing end of it. It's not easy to deal with. So I don't know. It's like bittersweet, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm happy we did it, but I know how it feels to lose, and I know how it feels to lose as a player for Optic. So it's never fun making anybody deal with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Well said.
Well said. I ask everybody on here what their daily routine is as a player. What's your daily routine as a CEO? Like, obviously not every single thing, but like, what's your life looking like these days?
Looks like he was playing some golf
as the owner of one of the biggest esports organizations in the world. Waking up early and shit?
Yeah, I think my daily routine has kind of shifted quite a bit since I started dating my fiance. We're getting married in a couple months, but I used to go to bed super late, wake up super late. And ever since 100 started, I've been going to bed early, waking up early. And it's awesome, dude. The way the sun sets on the earth. That's the way I would describe it. No, just the early mornings I love now, which I never would have expected myself to enjoy. So it depends on the day of the week. I think things have shifted quite a bit over the last 6 years. It's like a mixed bag of responsibilities, but on most days I'll go into the office depending on what we need to do. If it's meeting with investors, if we have a board meeting or the content team, we got so many different departments and I got to spend time with all of them as much as I can. That makes sense. So you'll have weeks where I'm going to the office 8 hours a day, and then you'll have weeks where I'm streaming 8 hours a day. It really just depends on what we have in the pipeline that I need to be involved with. So it's not really like a great answer because it just changes often, quickly, and sometimes I get
answer, then.
a lot of hours to stream and make content, and some hours I got to be tapped in with the entire business. So it's a lot of different things, and it fluctuates quite a bit.
Yeah, it makes sense because you kind of ditched us like we were grinding and shit, and
I know,
and you
bro.
were active.
And then just boom.
We had such a fun squad, and then
He was out of there.
the texts go unanswered, and you're golfing.
No. I was responding to text
Yeah,
for the
he was
most
No,
part.
it's all right, man.
He was responding. Don't do that to him.
I'm just-
Yeah, it's tough too because I get FOMO when you guys are streaming every day. Like, there's some days and some weeks and some months where I love being in the office, but then when I'm really hooked on a game like Valorant or rank play, I just have so much FOMO that I need to completely remove myself from Call of Duty or Valorant so that I can focus on what I need to do, or else the entire time I'll feel like I'm in fucking jail.
Yeah.
So that's why I go off the grid so much, because I can't be half in something and half out.
Yeah.
My brain only works with like full commitment to one thing, and I'm not good at compartmentalizing any responsibilities. So that's why I kind of
It's a great answer.
come in and
So
out.
you took
He's a wise
my,
man.
You took my joke and you gave people so much knowledge, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. But ask our next question, man.
Yeah, so I got to know, what were you doing the exact moment Thieves won? We saw you on the video on was it Thieves Twitter, I think? They tweeted out your reaction. It was Jack's birthday. What was that moment like for you?
Well, I'll tell you what, the house was actually pretty dead. I was coming back from the golf course, and I watched Winners Finals versus Optic, and we were up 2-1, I think it was. And I was like, holy shit. Because I'll be honest with you guys, and I think I said this on the podcast as well that I do with my assistant Joe, I wasn't sure what was going to happen in that Winners Finals. And you guys know how it goes too. Even after you win, I don't know if you guys ever felt like this as a player, but nowadays with how it used to be, where you would have an advantage going into the grand finals coming from winners bracket, to me, Optic and the way that they're playing right now, without being in the scrims and watching every single day, I just felt like that was a hard team to beat twice. You know what I mean? Like, I know we were beating the hell out of FaZe towards the latter half of last year, but we went into COD champs. I'm like, holy shit, dude, we gotta win. What was it? A best of 9? We gotta win 5 maps. Like, that's a tall order.
It's hard.
So I think that's kind of what was running through my mind throughout that entire day. And then when, going back to your original question, what I was doing, just on pins and needles, dude, that entire control was just so mixy. It felt like it was 50-50 the entire time. We should have closed it out when it was 2-1, and we didn't. And I'm like, God damn it, we just left the door open. And, players like Dashy and Shotzzy, they're not going to miss that opportunity twice. So I was just nervous throughout the entirety of that last map. But when we finally won, I think it was on the second to last side, but either way, Kenny made some big plays and was sort of finessing throughout the entirety of an offensive round. And when he was staying alive and picking up kills off spawn, I was like, God damn it, I think they might have it. So it was just like blacking out, excitement. It's weird. I actually think I enjoy winning now as an owner than I did as a player.
Really?
They're definitely not apples to apples, but I don't have any control over how our team is going to perform. And so I don't know if it's because I'm pessimistic, but I always just expect the worst. Your community doesn't let you hear the end of it if you make it all the way to the finals and end up losing. And it just hurts more than you could ever understand. I know you guys got to experience it, but I think it's the lack of control that we have that just sends me through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
So when we won, it was just, it was an incredible feeling.
Yeah, I get very anxious watching, just not having control. But it's actually crazy because that was one of my questions for you was if you got the same rush of winning as a player or being an owner, and you kind of just answered that for us. But Zin, go ahead, ask away.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about the COD League as a whole to you now that you're an owner. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you've been Call of Duty pretty much your entire life, and obviously the esports space is like a weird space right now. There's a lot of talk around esports and revenue, but like the Call of Duty League, like, are you still optimistic? Are there things that obviously you have your criticisms, but just give me your overall thoughts on the league as a whole?
Oh shit. Well, I'll tell you what, all these know-it-alls are gonna give me a hard time at probably a couple of these points. Dude, I actually think the CDL era has been pretty damn good for the competitive Call of Duty community. And I know that might sound controversial, but, you guys know how it was back when we had open bracket and pool play and all of these players that we knew were tier 1 and belonged on pro teams, but people didn't really care about how they performed and what they ended up doing at any given event. And nowadays, since there's only 12 teams, and you can argue that maybe the regionalization of it all didn't make sense, or you can poke holes in anything that you want to talk about when it comes to the franchise teams. But in the last few years, especially the year that we weren't a part of things with competitive Call of Duty, I've never seen so much interest around 12 teams, 4 players on each team, and where they're playing for, what the offseason is like, all the drama that happens, all the turnover. I actually think the CDL era, in terms of fandom, has been pretty good for Call of Duty. I mean, there might have been a couple turbulent years when you couldn't have, Optic. It had to be Chicago Huntsman or whatever. But I actually think CDL era has been good. I think some of the tournament formats and the league play and the ranked and everything with how they play week to week sometimes can feel a little jarring and out of place. But overall, I think CDL has actually been pretty good. Obviously I'm not focused on any of the negative things, but overall I think it's been good. And for me, I've just really enjoyed being back in the fold with competitive Call of Duty. All this talk about esports, to your earlier point, and as long as teams make smart decisions from here on out, there's always going to be these tier 1 organizations backing players. And I think expectations have been reset for the managers and the agents and the owners and all the relationships that come down to negotiations and contracts. There's still some other things that need to be figured out over the next couple of years to make esports a viable business opportunity, no matter what part of the fold that you come into, whether it's as a publisher, a player, a team, the partners that support the teams. Like, it's a mixed bag of problems that need to be figured out. But overall, Call of Duty never worries me. I mean, everybody looks at some of the worst Call of Duties we've had, which I would argue have probably been like 2 out of the last 6 people say are like worst Call of Duty ever. But the shining point of Call of Duty that it's always been is the entertainment factor of the players and their relationships with the teams that they're on, and the other players, to the community. Like, some games feel like it's a purist, competitive, results-driven video game and esport. But with Call of Duty, I mean, there can be wins and losses at any given time, but the players or the community is more invested in the players and how that shapes out overall. So I'm not worried about Call of Duty. Like, there's always been viewership, and it's stayed, and it's been consistent. We just had our highest viewer event like 2 majors ago. I mean, Seth, your fucking watch parties have been electric. Like, Call of Duty, no matter what happens to the game, it just always is consistent. And you can't say the same for other games. So I'll never really worry about Call of Duty.
Love that answer.
Yeah. Wow. I got one more question for you, Matt, and then we're going to let you go. It's kind of a trolly one. When Zinni blacklisted us, how did that really make you feel deep down? He thought that he was getting away from it with his dumb ass, but he's not getting away from it today.
Oh, okay. So you want like a full-blown
oh my
real
god. I mean,
truth.
oh my god.
Keep it, keep it a little bit in line, but how did it make you feel?
Oh my god.
All right, so I think there's a misconception from Ant. I don't know. I think guys in general, or at least the friends that I keep around, the people that I've been exposed to, are pretty good about not holding shit deep down and causing resentment, right? And I'm certainly somebody that can't deal with negativity in my life and bumps in the road when it comes to a relationship with a person. And so I'm quick to forget. And so I really passed that time in my life, I don't know, maybe like the first year after the blacklist stuff, I didn't really care. Like, I've always liked Ant. Like, you're funny, you're easy to be around, you can always chop up in a conversation, and I've always been a big fan of yours. The day after we played that Pro-Am together, I'm like, this is a good kid.
Damn.
I think the only thing, like, if you wanted the real answer, the reason why it bothered me so much when it happened was just because I thought, and I'm not trying to sound like it was the cool table at the high school cafeteria, but we brought you into the fold. And it really wasn't even about, like, Optic and how big it was. Like, I don't actually think about it that way.
Dude,
I just genuinely fucked with you. And I thought that we were becoming pretty good friends and sort of, but I get how it is when you're a kid and there's drama and you want everybody to like you. So you're piling it on while everybody else is talking shit. You just want to be one of the guys on every single side of that table. Like I looked at it from so many different perspectives, but I think as somebody who didn't really have like an ordinary high school experience, I didn't really start having those really strong friendships until I was in the second half of my gaming career. And I fucked with you a lot. And so it kind of just hurt that you were shitting on us with everybody else, but I never held on to it. You know what I mean? I get it. We were kids, dude. Half the shit that has ever happened that I've ever had beef with anybody in Call of Duty, I don't give a fuck. I just want to be friends with everybody, dude. We grew up with each other.
Hell yeah.
Like we did something that nobody else ever is going to get to experience in most cases. And it's kind of like this unspoken, bond that I think we all have, bro. Like anybody that I've ever had beef with, like anytime I see him now, it's just like, bro, me and Aches get along really well. The Crim Six and Clayster, I fucking hated them when we played together. Hated them.
Yeah.
And now all I want to do is have a beer with them because like competition and you're fighting for your fucking life and your career, you just get emotional. Everybody wants to win. Somebody's got to lose. And you're relying on 3 other people next to you to try to perform at the same time. That's just, you're not equipped when you're that young to deal with all of that pressure and emotion. It's a hard thing to conceptualize. And we all did that shit together. So yeah. I've never really held ill will against it.
Wow. Nadeshot, definitely our most insightful 1v2 by far. I mean, thank you so much. Unless you got one more question.
Guys, let's go. Let's keep it spitting,
brother.
What the fuck? That one on for 10 minutes?
That one got to me a bit, man.
We got a lot of segments here, Matt.
Hold on, let me ask you this. Why do you guys act like cops on this show? You guys have so much personality.
We're trying to loosen up a little bit.
Fox News. What's happening
here?
Yeah.
We're trying to loosen up a little bit. We feel like with the format that we went with, it's kind of easy to get caught in like a robotic little like cycle. So we're trying to like loosen it up, and we're talking about how we can like adjust things. So
we have some segments that are more loose. This is supposed to be serious, though. We want to pick your brain. We're not here to, we're trying to pick your brain.
The wizard's sleeve. Seth, give me something, brother.
Before we continue, first off, thank you for that long answer and the kind words. I don't want to make it this big emotional thing, but for what it's worth, I mean, the conversation you had with my dad sort of helped propel this entire thing for me, and you were right. You kind of brought me into the fold, and very young, I had the opportunity to look like behind, I guess, the surface of competitive Call of Duty, and being intertwined with you guys and like sort of seeing myself in you guys is probably the only reason I'm here today. So despite that,
we fuck with you, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck with you.
I fucked up.
Keep your head down and keep working, brother. You're gonna make a lot of money. People love you. It's gonna be great.
I was fucked up.
Wait, can I ask you guys a question now?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Seth, one, I want to know what it feels like when you play LA Thieves. Is there anything at all? Because I know you got rivalries with these players in some capacity or another. Do you think about me when we are playing? Selfishly, I want to know.
Do I think about you when we played?
Yeah, like when you're watching Optic play LA Thieves, or when you played against LA Thieves, did you ever want it just a little bit more because you knew that they played for our team?
Honestly, if I could say, I would say no. I wouldn't say I wanted it more. Obviously, not because of like you, but I mean, like when we played Dylan, when we played like Sam, for instance, like all my ex-teammates, that always adds a little bit of extra fire to a match. You know, whenever you're playing a teammate that, I mean, Dylan was let go. Obviously, Sam was let go. Like, I know that they're coming in trying to take us out. So that always would add a little bit of extra fire. But like, playing against your org, would it make me more fired up? Nah, I wouldn't say that. I mean,
damn, I'm not wrestling your jimmies enough. Then that sucks, dude.
No, I mean, I got mad love for you, but like playing old teammates would always add a little bit more to a match, you know. And I think against Thieves, I was like 7-7 or something like that. I think we literally split right down the center, so it was always a lot of fun to play Thieves, obviously because we were playing your org. But like it was never like me against you, you know what I'm saying? It was like me against the boys that you're putting out there. So,
do you consider it a rivalry?
Right now, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're both right at this moment, they're the two best teams in the game right now, and I think it's kind of hard to say that it's not a rivalry. They're both gross. Now Draza has beef with Ghosty. I mean, I'm sure you heard what Draws said. Ghosty went into game chat, so yeah.
No, wait, hold on. What did Draws say about Ghosty? I didn't hear this.
So Ghosty went into game chat after the bounty match and said like free cash or some stupid shit. Like he's a rookie, so nobody ever does that. So he actually went into game chat, pushed the talk, said free cash, give me that 10K. And then Draws, after they won, obviously it was for a little bit more money. He said,
"Oh, brother, I'd be leaping across that stage if I were Draws. Are you kidding me?"
He said, "Fuck it, then."
Yeah. Beat him in finals for the major.
He said, "Fuck it, then. Whose cash is that?"
Don't fuck with Draza, but that kid is electric. It's tough because like the player that everybody hates the most is on my team, so I'm like,
well,
what?
There's Scrap.
Well, no, Scrappy.
People like to hate.
People love fucking Scrappy. People love Scrappy now. Do all the players hate Scrappy? That's what I want to know.
No. I don't think any players actually dislike any other players.
Huh?
I don't think actual players dislike other players. Like everybody understands, it's like I mean, there's a few, but it's not like it's not like because Scrap talks shit, a bunch of players hate him. It's not like Draws is hated by a bunch of players because he talks shit.
It's fair.
Like there's obviously some personal beef with some people here and there, but I don't understand the flack that some of these players get for talking shit. I guess I do get it.
If it's against Optic, people are obviously going to get mad.
Yeah, but it makes
somebody's got to be the bad guy, dude. There's no other way.
It's so much more exciting to watch.
Losers. Like it's just the way the life is. Balance.
No, I completely agree. I love the shit talk that Draws puts out. I mean, he was like, "Fuck it then, 50K, fucking slam."
Yeah, fuck it.
You know what I'm saying? Like
he's looking like Chip Skylark out there too. With his shiny
Draws
teeth
is one of those players that like you hate playing against whenever you lose to him, but like you like watching him like talk shit. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
like
it's
entertaining.
He's winning championships. So it's one thing if he's placing last and he's saying all this bullshit, but the kid's a world champ and he's young and he comes from Alaska. Like his story is actually really dope. And from what I know from like his teammates is like he's truly just a passionate Call of Duty player. It's the only thing he loves to do and cares about.
Yeah. He's
in every single S&D 8. So like from my perspective as a former player and as someone who's competed against him, like to see that level of passion and drive, if someone wants to talk some shit,
it reminds me of when I was coming up.
Go for it.
It's like that
brother.
same burning passion that you have. It's like you're gonna talk shit, you know. That's just the way of the road.
Part too, right? Because not to cut you guys off, but I just want to speak my piece on this. Look, man, nothing I can say is gonna convince somebody to like Draza. People pick out players, whether it's the NBA, the NFL. You can't even explain why you love somebody or hate them. And maybe you can sometimes, but most of the time you're just like, fuck that guy. This guy Draza is like the epitome of a Call of Duty kid. You know, early days, nobody knows each other that well. So none of these pro players really knew Draza. He comes in, is subbed in, and now got benched, yada, 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 yada. Guy starts finally getting a piece of a championship, sniffs what it feels like to win, and that's all this guy wants, right? But he's talking his shit on his way. We were all like that when we were younger.
It's fair.
You got to remember, Draza's still really, really young. The CDL needs winners and losers when it comes to personalities, who people love, who people hate. Somebody's got to be the good guy. Somebody's got to be the bad guy. But the time that I get to spend with Draza, I'm telling you, if Draza were on Optic, okay?
People would
and
love
I'm
him.
Give the community something to think about. If Draza
100%.
were on Optic and winning the way that he's won and he was talking shit to other players, people would fucking love him. But he's not. And, you know, that's kind of, you know, sometimes you can't pick where you're sitting at the table, but he's doing everything he can to win, and he's trying to take the food off somebody else's plate, and that's what you do as a competitor. So when I see him off the game, it's like, again, it's like Clayster. Clayster teaming with him, playing against him, the guy is just fucking unbearable. But when you actually sit down and get to hang out with Clayster outside of competition, he's the fucking man. He's a great guy, dude. So all is fair in love and war. I get why people don't like him, but if he played for another team in a different situation, was doing what he's doing now, and I don't care what anybody says about the whole Scrappy thing. Scrappy started winning at the right time, was coming up as a rookie that everybody was like, yo, this guy's up next. He's number one. And when he talks shit, I'll tell you what, it's not that it's more like eloquent. You know, like Conor McGregor talks unbelievable shit, but he's really well-spoken, and he packs a punch, and he's funny. Scrappy and Draza and most Call of Duty players are all talking like elementary school shit, and sometimes funny, sometimes not. Whatever.
Yeah.
But he just was riding the right wave at the right time in the right situation. If Draza were doing the same things that he's doing, but he was winning on another team, and maybe even Optic, people would fucking love him.
Oh,
That's all I'm gonna
absolutely.
say.
There's no doubt in that. I mean, fan bases always clash. Draza, you know, he just likes to get after it, and I respect that about him. Matt, we do have to move on. I love you, but we have.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Dude, we still have like more than half our show left to do.
We got to do like a special episode.
Yeah.
Because you can fucking talk.
You can speak.
We got to do a special episode where it's just something like this, and we're just bullshitting the entire time. Because I'm sure everybody
I think we should be
chat,
naked and jerking each other off vigorously.
Be very careful talking about genitalia.
Yeah.
Because they won't let you fucking hear the end of it.
You guys got sponsors on this?
No.
Well, we do.
Oh,
but
yeah, we do.
All right, well,
But
let's
it's
start
our-
grooving and pack a
That's
juvie,
not their
baby.
reason.
Come on.
But it's all right.
Jesus.
Code Nate, 10% off. Yeah, I'm going to keep going until they cut me off, dude. High ground keyboard.
Oh, my
We're
God.
drinking juvies.
Good for
Dude,
you.
it's electric out here. Don't miss the show. I love you guys. Thank you for
Yeah,
having
Matt,
me.
thank you
Love you,
so
bro.
much for
Thank
coming
you.
on, brother. We'll talk soon.
That was great.
Can't believe
Thank
you're cutting me off, dude. This is fun.
you. Dude, that was great. Dude.
I mean, goodness gracious, that man can speak.
Dude, that was
That man
was
can
great.
speak.
And that hit my fucking heartstrings, dude. Why'd you got to ask him that question?
I didn't think he was going to go that
No,
crazy
he took
on
it,
you.
He took it serious.
I know. I thought he was going to like kind of ease up a little bit. He went in a little bit.
He spoke exactly how I wanted him to.
So for the deep dive, we're definitely going to shorten it now. I'm going to kind of pick and choose.